Deep Psychedelic Mushroom Journey. At first glance, during a psychedelic journey with psilocybin, one enters a sort of trance. This substance, present in some hallucinogenic mushrooms, leads to an altered state of consciousness, with heightened sensitivity to the environment and the ability to experience visual distortions, synesthesia phenomena, and even mystical experiences. The self dissolves, transcends the body, and the space-time dimensions in which one exists in the world become distorted. All of this happens at once, over a period of about 4 to 6 hours, which also opens the door to exploring this journey for therapeutic purposes. This psychoactive substance is attributed with potential for treating certain psychiatric disorders, such as treatment-resistant depression or addictions. During the psychedelic medicine renaissance, science has turned its attention to studying what lies behind these unusual mental experiences induced by hallucinogens. In this video, I will share my psychedelic experience through a deep introspective journey with closed eyes. It was 5 grams of a mushroom called Golden Teacher, mixed with lemon juice and ingested as a thick brew, but it tasted good. During the 30 minutes while I lay on my bed waiting, the effect began to take shape. I saw geometric patterns, mandalas, fractals of light and bright colors, transforming, transmuting, and evolving, giving me a feeling of absolute admiration and complete happiness. I saw my pure essence, my soul, and my spirituality in connection with animals. In these geometric patterns, various animals appeared as 3D images in vibrant and fluorescent colors. I traveled through the universe, jumping from one world to another, feeling as though I was traveling at the speed of light. I felt very light, as though I was traveling and entering different multiverses. I saw myself from the perspective of a tiny insect, like an ant, even from the size of a bacteria, minuscule, astonished, seeing life in its constant transformation, nature in its purest essence, trees and plants in various shapes and colors, unimaginable meadows of flowers, never before seen species, happy creatures with beautiful, graceful forms. While traveling and jumping from one experience to another, I felt absolute happiness, which dominated my journey. All of this was accompanied by music, such as yoga mantras, rhythms, and harmonic frequencies that guided the journey even more. I visited some of my past lives, relived certain episodes. It gave me the feeling that I have lived many lives, and I only saw a part. I am an ancient soul. The love I felt in my heart was overwhelming. I always felt very loved and supported. In one of my lives, I saw myself enjoying parties during medieval times, where I was an ordinary person. In another life, I saw that I had children. I saw them running and playing happily. My life was happy. I haven't been a mother in this life yet, but having been one in another life, today it brings me peace in case I won't be one in this life. In one of these lives, I saw my body being buried. It was my funeral, but once I detached from my body, I felt a freedom and lightness that allowed me to fly and experience my true essence, my floating energy. I was able to teleport from one universe to another. I felt my father with me the entire journey, although I couldn't see him physically. He had already shed his material body. He is pure energy, without gender, without physical form. He is in the pure essence of vibrating energy, just like my grandmother and all who have passed. We are pure light. The body limits us so much on this dense material planet. You can feel the gravity crushing us, aging, wearing down. But I was able to find relief from my current physical ailments, such as the common stress that tends to accumulate in my lower back. It's incredible and infinite the happiness I experienced every time I died in some of my lives, due to the sensation of returning to the purity of being, of the soul and spirit in its most immense love. Time in this universe doesn't exist. Everything is infinite. Everything is in constant transformation. I can confirm my abilities and capabilities. I confirm that I have everything clear about who I am and how I am. My acceptance of death is worked through and understood. In my heart, there is no room for resentment or bad feelings, because when I revisited the bullying experience I suffered as a child in school, which generated huge insecurity about my abilities, fear of people, and low self-esteem, I realized that by recognizing this long ago, I have been working on it and have improved significantly in regaining those virtues and aspects that are the foundation of healthy growth and development of the self. I've resolved attachment issues with my loved ones, yet I felt a strong connection with 3 people in my core group. I understood that living abroad gives me the purpose of opening paths for new generations in my family who may want to migrate in the future. I feel I am in a very high state of vibration, and it has been very difficult to find a partner because the person who vibrates at the same frequency as me has not crossed my path yet. They spoke to me during this trip, telling me to stay calm and trust the process. Everything works and happens in its right moment. Everything fits into place. They said, hard work will take you to the top, and it's even better if you enjoy the journey. I also saw the future. I've always been greatly concerned about the future of the planet and the damage we're causing. This planet will fulfill its cycle, and like every being that is born, it dies and it transforms. Even so, I felt a sense of hope and tranquility because space travel to other planets will open up to save whatever is left of humanity. Everything must go through its cycle, and no one can change that. Everything arrives in its own time. Nothing is rushed. It happens when it must. I've learned not to force things, to live in the present, the here and now. I feel more strongly my power, that I am here to help, inspire, and guide with words, with advice. I spoke a lot during my trip, and at one point I felt the need to pee, so I had to reconnect with reality and disconnect from my inner world. That's when I could see, while opening my eyes carefully, a myriad of colors. The dimensions were distorting. As I walked, I couldn't clearly see the ground. The vibrations of the music and the surroundings were constantly transforming. Colors, mandalas, geometric patterns that danced, changed, and filled all spaces. They were bright, sparkling. Every sound was heightened, traveling, transforming, materializing. My hand approached and withdrew, and the painting on the wall in the room moved. It danced. Everything was in constant motion. I began to talk about the people at my work, how I connect with them, how I perceive them. I saw their auras and became aware of how important it is to create harmonious interactions with these people since we spend a lot of time with them. I connected with my new friends I've met in this country I'm living in. I also connected with family. I stood in front of my bed, leaning on it to feel the warmth from the heater since it was cold. I closed my eyes and continued traveling through the infinite universe. I sat on the floor and saw myself as a very small being in a world of giants. And it was amazing. It helped me value every living being, even the smallest ant searching for food among ours. I told my friend who had been taking care of me to give me her hands, and when I felt her touch, I expressed that this is what one misses from the loved ones who have passed, touching them, seeing them, feeling them physically. I felt my father present through my friend, and he told me that he is always with me, to stay calm and everything will be fine. I told my friend that she has always traveled with me through many reincarnations and to other worlds. We are very connected. We both vibrate in the same energy frequency. During this trip, I understood the strength of the phrase, God is love. God is in each and every one of us. In the next video, I will share with you what they say about what it's like in the spiritual realm. After the trip I took a year ago, the expansion of my consciousness has magnified to levels that I've experienced physically. It has improved my nervous system, reduced my stress levels, regularized my period, and normalized my body's functions. My self-confidence has been reaffirmed. I trust more in the process. I don't stress about the past, the future, money, and I value my tranquility and mental health above all. This psychedelic journey has cleared up many of my doubts, beliefs, and has helped me continue releasing what no longer serves me. It has helped me shed burdens that don't belong to me. It has taught me to enjoy the simplicities of life, to be more conscious of separating the ego and not freeing it with trivialities, surrounding myself with vitamin people. This journey has sharpened my intuition and given me more wisdom. If you plan to undertake a deep psychedelic mushroom journey, make sure to thoroughly educate yourself. You must be certain about doing it. You must believe in how beneficial it can be and not fear it, because fear can lead to a bad journey. Never do it alone. It should always be assisted by a specialist or someone with vast experience. The use of hallucinogenic mushrooms for treating mental illnesses is still under study. It should be taken with caution. Have a good journey.